The first question that you might have is, why should we listen to this guy? Well, in 2022, I changed careers from engineering to marketing. And by doing that, I stumbled upon LinkedIn. And through LinkedIn and LinkedIn only, and through remote jobs, I found two internships. One turned into a part-time role, which I quit. The other one turned into a full-time role with which I worked for the company for 2 years straight. After that, through LinkedIn, I worked at a Dubai startup as well, all remote, only through LinkedIn. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how I did that and why it's easier to pitch yourself and start working remotely with startups as opposed to usual larger organizations. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find a remote job on LinkedIn through 4 simple steps. The first one is to find startups in your industry who are actively present on LinkedIn. Now you might ask me, how do I do that? The easiest way is, for example, you're in the marketing industry and you want to work with a marketing startup at a remote role. Go to LinkedIn, go to the search bar and write founder space marketing. That's it. That way, you'll find hundreds of profiles of startup founders already present on LinkedIn. The best thing is, in today's day and age, the creator economy is booming, right? It's worth over $250 billion. So there's a massive chance that the kind of startup that you're looking for is already present on LinkedIn, and the founder of that startup is already creating content on LinkedIn. So how do you do it? How do you find these people? First, go to LinkedIn, go to the search bar, and write founder space marketing. You're going to find a lot of people who are already founders. Now, if you want to make it even more precise, you can write startup founder marketing. Search that and you'll find plenty of people. So that is the first step. Now, the second step is to network your way into these startups. And how do you do that? Add the founder to your network, send them a connection request. Add the team members of that startup that you want to work for, send them connection requests to make sure that you are on their radar. Now, chances are some of them are not going to accept your request, but some of them are going to do it. Your job is to try. Do not be afraid of not trying at all. Send over that connection request. As long as you're trying, something will eventually work out. So that is the second step. Try to add these people into your network. Now, one more tip regarding this second step is to not put all of your eggs in the same basket, as people say, right? Add multiple founders and their teams into your network, because you have to make sure that if one doesn't work out, then the other one will work out. If that one doesn't work out, then the third one will work out. That is your responsibility to make sure that you increase your chances. So that is the second step. Now, the third step, which is absolutely crucial, is to create content on LinkedIn. Now, what do I mean by that? For example, if you are trying to work your way into a marketing startup, it's about marketing, so you need to create content about marketing. If you're already a seasoned or an experienced professional, then your thought leadership has already grown and you already know how the industry works. So start commentary on industry trends. Start talking about the problems that people usually face when it comes to marketing. Start creating content off the back of it. So that is one way to create content. The second way is, if you're new to an industry, right? You're changing careers and you say, Ghalib, I don't have any experience, right? I haven't worked with any other marketing companies in the past, but like you, I was in engineering and now I want to work in marketing. So the way you can create content as a newcomer into a new industry is, number one, take free courses available on LinkedIn or Google Digital Garage or even HubSpot Academy. Take these free courses, learn the basics, and then start creating content off the back of these courses. What did you learn in the course, right? For example, you just learned about SEO. Talk about SEO. Search the internet or search Google on what's happening in SEO recently. Talk about some case studies or how some companies are applying some really good SEO tactics. Talk about it, give your thought leadership and your opinions only. This is super important. Do not take opinions from the internet or from somebody else. Take your opinions only and start creating content on LinkedIn. Once you do that, what happens is, these people that you've added into your network, they see you as somebody who might be a thought leader, right? Maybe your opinions are good enough so that people start noticing you. Once you keep talking about these things, the people that you've added into your network, they'll start noticing you, and that is exactly what you want. Once these people start noticing you, you have a better chance of actually starting to work. Now, the fourth step of this process is to start generating conversations, right? So whenever there's a role in the future that they're hiring for, you automatically reach out to them, or they reach out to you because they feel like they've known you and that you can be a good fit at their startup, right? Now, you might ask me, how do I start these conversations? You have to keep it natural. What you need to do is, these people who are already present on LinkedIn, these founders or these team members of startups that you want to work for, there's a massive chance that they're already creating content on LinkedIn. Your job is to start interacting with this content. Leave thought leadership on these posts so that they start noticing you. The content that these founders or these decision makers or these team members are making, go there, be active. Once you're active, again, the whole goal is to be noticed, right? Is to be out there so that people see you. Start commenting and leave actual genuine value and thought leadership instead of saying like, hey, good post or great post. Nobody likes that. It's terrible, it's useless, it's not going to serve you in any single way. It will actually repel these people away from you because they then see you as somebody who is just on LinkedIn to waste time. Leave genuine thought leadership. If you have an actual thought about a post that they did, comment it. If you don't have anything to say, don't comment, just leave a like. That's enough. But if you actually have something to say, leave a like, leave a comment so that they start noticing you. This is how you generate actual conversations with these people. And once you've interacted once or twice with a few people, then you have the confidence to take it into their DMs. This is where the real magic happens. Okay? So once you have interacted with somebody for a few times, send them a post that they recently did that you actually and genuinely find interesting. Send it to them in their DM and leave your thoughts. Instead of a comment, leave your thoughts in their DM. That way, that conversation is much more personal. They get to talk to you one-to-one as opposed to replying to hundreds of people on their comments. Once you have that one-to-one connection established, you already have a relationship. Then, in the future, if any of these startups are advertising for any roles, you can jump in and instead of applying the traditional way and clicking that apply now button on LinkedIn, which thousands of other people are already doing, you can just DM them. Hey, I saw that you left out an advert for this post. I would love to see if I'm a fit and if you'd consider me. Really appreciate your time. Regards, XYZ, whatever your name is. That way, you have a much better chance of being taken in as a newcomer or as a new employee. This absolutely doesn't guarantee a 100% acceptance rate, but come on, it's going to give you such a massive chance as opposed to if you were creating no content on LinkedIn, you had no relationships on LinkedIn, you were absolutely non-existent there, nobody knew you, and then you applied using the apply now button. Let's be honest, it wasn't going to work out anyways. And I'm sure some of you are already doing this, right? You're applying to jobs on LinkedIn, but nobody's to you. Your job is to make sure that you stand out. How do you stand out? Find startups that are on LinkedIn who you want to work with. Add these people into your network. Start creating relationships with them, right? Do all of these things. Once you have all of this covered, you have a much better chance of being hired. How do I know this? Because I've done it myself. For the past 3 years, I've been working with remote companies, and today I run my own business, all through LinkedIn and all through networking and content. That's it. Dedicate your time, treat it as a job. Do this for 3 to 6 months, and I can guarantee you, you'll find something, right? As long as you're not too picky and you don't go for your ego and say, I'm never going to work at a startup. Why should I work at a startup? I want to work at Google, which is great. Ambition is amazing, as long as you're realistic. If you are at the beginning of your career, or if you're not experienced enough, chances are that you won't find a job at Google. How are you going to land that job in the first place? Even if you want to find a job at Google, you still have to network your way in. The chances of you landing a job at Google or even at a startup by simply clicking that apply now button, chances are slim. So follow these 4 steps and you're going to be okay. So remember, there are 4 steps, okay? The first one is to find the startups that you want to work for on LinkedIn. Second one is to add the people of these startups, such as founders or team members, into your network. Third one is creating content so that you become noticeable. People start seeing your name out there. The fourth one is to network with these people. Once you comment a few times, leave genuine thought leadership, take to the DMs. That way you're top of mind and these people are going to remember your name. Hope this was helpful. Please subscribe. Hope this was helpful. Please subscribe and leave a reaction or leave a comment on the video. Would really appreciate it. And I hope you find the job that you're looking for.